Hey guys. So, what do you do when you wake up one morning? Maybe you're running late, but everything from the start of your day is just going wrong. And just, it seems like the whole universe is stacked against you. And you have a presentation to make, or a class to teach, or a seminar to conduct, or it's your day to get on stage and do your lines in front of a live audience. So those of us who are public speakers, who get on stage, who have to do this for a living, or maybe you're representing your company in some way or another. What do you do when everything's going wrong? When it's hitting the fan? What do you do? Just give up and go home? That's really not an option. That's not an option. You have to pull it together. So I've got a couple of tips that I wanted to share with you that I think would help any of us. It's these are techniques that I use to reduce the stress in my in on the days whenever everything seems to be going wrong for me, when it seems like everything is stacked up against me. These are the things that go through my mind whenever I'm trying to make it a better day. So, how would I handle that? What would I do? Well, first of all, my very first tip for you, very first thing is don't panic. Do not panic. Don't flip out. It's the worst thing you can do. Simply don't panic. It's not going to do you any good. There is nothing that panicking is going to do for you. It's not going to solve your problem. Nobody is going to come to your rescue just because you panic. By all means, it's actually your responsibility. You are the star of the show today. It's your responsibility to get out there anyway. So, this isn't the time to try to find somebody else to solve your problem for you. So, first of all, simply do not panic. It's not going to do you any good. Second, fake it. When, even though you might be having the worst day of you've heard the term never let them see you sweat. Everybody's heard that. Well, this is one of those cases where it's absolutely essential. People are going to expect you to have confidence whenever you step on that stage. And so somebody that doesn't show confidence, even when everything's hitting the fan, even when they've had a bad day, that lets the audience down. That really doesn't give them their money's worth, per se. So people showed up, and they deserve to have the best performance you can give them, no matter what. No excuses, no matter what. So, what are you going to do when you're having a bad day? You're going to pretend like it's the best day you've ever had. You're going to pretend like you always have things under control, even when today you just simply don't feel like it. What are you going to do? You're going to pull yourself together, and you are going to fake having a good day, even when you're having a bad day. Fake it. Don't let your customers, don't let your audience, don't let the people who are sitting there waiting for you to perform, don't let them know that there's anything wrong. They should never know that you're having a bad day. The next tip: control what you can control. There are things that you can do. There are things that you can do and take care of. Now, there's things that you could have done beforehand. Okay, so what could I have done beforehand? Well, if it was a speaking engagement that I was supposed to be a part of, then I could have made sure that I had great notes. I could have made sure that I reviewed the topic that I was getting ready to teach on or speak about. I could make sure that I know my material. If you're going on stage, make sure you know your lines. Practice them. Practice your lines. If, for example, some of my team, one of the things that we do is we teach software. Make sure you are familiar with the software and the outline or the structure of the items that you're supposed to cover. And here's the thing: always have a backup plan. Always have a backup plan for things that will go wrong and can go wrong. And this will also give you more control over what's happening. So, first of all, control what you can control. And then second, make sure that you have a backup plan for when things do happen or when things do go wrong. So let's talk through that just a little bit. So a backup plan. If you wrote your presentation, let's say you're going to do a presentation in front of your business or to represent your business, or it's a sales presentation. If that's the case, and you had created a PowerPoint presentation, or you had, let's say you even emailed it to them, you should actually expect that everything is going to go wrong. In other words, you are going to get up in front of that audience of 1,000 people, and the PowerPoint projector is going to not work, or the internet connection the night before when you emailed it to them isn't going to work, or the connection at the hotel didn't allow you to send it, or something is going to break up your plan. You can't let the world fall apart just because your plan didn't go as you expected. So actually plan for the worst. And then that way you have a backup plan and you can adjust as needed. If I had my notes on a laptop, I would probably also have my notes on a little scrap of paper or a notepad or a set of index cards. I would have my notes on those, and I've done that many times. Matter of fact, I prefer that personally just simply because usually I know my material. I know what I'm going to be speaking on. So I don't rely on those digital assets. I can get away with just a few words and a few things written on cards. Now that comes with practice, of course, but that's all part of the game too. That's part of being prepared as well. Is I practice my craft. I try to master the art form that you and I are in. So let's say that your PowerPoint isn't available for you, and all of a sudden you were planning on having this great visual behind you, and now it's gone. Well, what are you going to do? Well, make sure that you have thought it through, and you could use a whiteboard as a backup plan, a chalkboard as a backup plan, one of those big Post-it notes that people bring to business meetings. That could be used in an emergency. There's all kinds of different choices. Or absolute worst case scenario. Master the art of telling a visual story. So when you practice your PowerPoint, if everything went awry, then you talk about that picture that you were going to put up there. You make them envision that funnel that you were going to walk them through, or that target that you were going to use for your presentation that was going to really drive your point home. Make sure that you could visually tell that story. It's part of the craft. It's part of the art form that you're in. So what else could we do? Well, in my case, let's say that since we teach software, I just want to approach that. Okay, I want to approach that directly. So maybe in the past, we've actually recorded the presentation. So if my plan was, or any of my team members' plan was, to show up at this event and actually present this live, well, you better expect that sometimes the internet is going to be down. So I might want to make sure that I have a PowerPoint backup presentation and or a recorded video of this presentation from the past. Now, if the internet is working and the software itself goes down, then if you actually had the PowerPoint as a backup or the recorded file somewhere on the internet, that would be another strategy, another way that you could get it. But having it on your person, like on a flash drive or something, that's not a bad idea. So once again, being prepared, control what you can control. Now guys, there's going to come a time, there's going to come an event, there's going to come the day where things are out of your control. You could not control them. Now, when I say the software goes down for my team, if the software goes down, they can't do anything about that. We're not the software developers. We're not back at the call center taking calls. We're not the people who do that. We're the people who teach the software. We're not the experts of keeping it running. So we can't do anything if that software goes down. Oh my gosh. So what are we to do? Well, guys, even though in this case, in this example that I'm giving you, the audience is obviously going to be aware. Maybe they were expecting a live demonstration, and you get halfway through it, and the software breaks down. Okay, so what are you going to do? Well, in this case, I guess I would have to acknowledge the fact that it happened, and then move the heck on with my backup plan. Move on. with your backup plan. Hey guys, it looks like the system is down. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and move on to a backup plan that I have. We're still going to do this. I'm still going to teach all these great benefits of this software or this package or this product, whatever it happens to be. But we're going to do it a little bit differently than I expected. Hey, you guys know how technology is. And then move on and get on with the presentation. That's how it's done. That's how you take a bad day and you turn it into a good day. Now, here's another tip. Not only do you have that backup strategy, but sometimes the bad day, even the stuff that's out of your control, that's making your day bad, maybe it's something that's not even in the audience's perception. They don't even know about it. My friends, then they should never know about it. It is not their problem. If something is inconvenient for you, then you need to just get over it and get on with your presentation. It's why you're here. It's your job. So take that and run with it. All right, guys. So just a little summary of some of the things that we talked about, some of the little tips that I pointed out here. We've got one is, first off, don't panic. 2, fake it. If you have the power to, and you do, then fake it. Pretend like you're having a good day, even when you're having one of your worst days ever. Your audience doesn't have to know. And as a matter of fact, it's a more powerful presentation, and it makes you more of a master of your audience if you can have a bad day and still pull it off. And it's your job. It's what we have to do. And then the next one, control what you can control. Hey, if it's out of your power, don't worry about it. Just get on with it. Figure out a way to make it work. If you have to acknowledge it, if it is something that's within your audience's perception, acknowledge it, apologize once, and then move on. Get on with the backup plan. Another one, have a backup plan. Make sure that you have the tools to do this. You have to, right? Plan ahead. Figure what is the worst thing that cannot possibly happen, and then put something in place to resolve that. If you have to go chase things down yourself and do it yourself, that's what you got to do. If you have to create notes, if you have to create yourself a cheat sheet, whatever the heck it is, make sure that you have that backup plan with you. And then last but not least, know your material. If it's the lines in a play, practice them. Practice, practice, practice. Know your lines. Know your material. If it's a speech, make sure that you know the content. Heck, if your matter of fact, if your notes, if your index cards blew up or burned up right in front of you because somebody lit a match and it struck your notes, you should know your material enough where you could still pull it off. Now, it might not be in the exact order that you intended, but if you have practiced it and you know your material and you know what you're talking about, then you should be able to pull it off. It's within your power. It's why you're on that stage. My friends, I hope you enjoyed this little presentation. I hope some of these ideas and these tips helped you out a little bit. If you are a public speaker, if you are representing your company, if you are a teacher, if you are an actor or actress, whether it's a commercial or you're getting ready for a movie or you're on the theater or on the stage in a theater, whatever it is that you do, I hope that these little tips will help you in one way or another. And hey, let me know if these things help you. I'll do some more of them. This one, I just felt like I know that it's helped me. I hope it's going to help some others. So on that note, guys, love y'all. See you next time. Appreciate it.